What's up, guys? SirAllAboutMusic here, and it's been a while. It's been a while. I decided to take a break from everything this weekend, so I didn't make any videos this weekend. I pretty much just chillaxed and spent just took it easy. So yeah, but this I wanted to talk about this because the Needle Drop played a noise music song in his blog TV. He reviewed a noise music song in his blog TV, and in the chat box, I didn't see one person, not one person that was like, not even like, oh, okay, this is okay. It was all flack. From what I saw, it was all flack. And that it didn't piss me off. I'm not saying that those people are wrong, it gave me this kind of perspective on how underrepresented noise music is, and this kind of community that all us album reviewers have going. It's you really don't see any kind of interest in it. And that's fine. That's understandable. Also, it is probably, in my opinion, is probably the most least accessible genre in music. But there's a very large metal interest. Anthony gets a lot of metal track review requests. Cover Killer and Jumble Junkie Music do almost exclusively metal albums. I have a couple of metal requests on my request list. You're Wrong, I'm Right he does metal albums. There's a very heavy metal interest in this community, and noise rock and noise music is just underrepresented in my opinion. I don't want to indoctrinate anyone. I don't want to tell anyone that they're wrong. I just want to share with you guys where my interest in the music comes from and what it means to me, and maybe that'll give you, maybe some interest in looking deeper into it, or at least, understanding where noise music fans come from. And that maybe not all of it is shit. So I got into noise music about my sophomore year in high school. That year, musically, I wasn't really stuck. I was kind of in this place where I was just hearing the same thing. I was really bored with what I was listening to, and even then I was listening to a pretty wide breadth of music. Led Zeppelin, Galaxy 500, The Verve, the Dave Matthews Band. That's just a couple of the wide breadth of bands I was listening to. And even though there was all this variance, all this difference in the music, there was something that just wasn't right. It just wasn't right, and I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And so, around that time, I started going to the public library and, just picking out random CDs, hoping to find this sound that I didn't even know what it was I was looking for. I just knew that I was missing something, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And even though I had this wide breadth of music, it kind of sometimes it got boring, even switching between stuff like Dave Matthews and Cream. I would be like, I would feel like I was listening to the exact same thing. And it was that year that an acquaintance of mine introduced me to the Butthole Surfers, and the thing that immediately drew me to them was just the absolute chaos, the absolute disregard for any any aspect that any other rock band has taken up. There was disregard for real, any kind of structure. There was disregard for any kind of melodic schemes. It was just, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want, and we don't care what anybody thinks. And that really attracted me to it, and I liked that. That was the attitude that I took out of the music. I liked that attitude. It really got me excited. And plus, listening to that band seemed to fill this gap that I was feeling. And it took me a while to figure out what it was. You know, it took me quite a long time to figure out what it was that was filling that gap. And I finally figured out it was the noise element of that band. Now, that band isn't a true noise rock band. They have a lot of melodic structure, and they have a lot of there's structure in their songs. You know, it's not it's not like harsh noise stuff. But that was my platform, and so yeah, that really drew me to the Butthole Surfers and started getting me into the noisier elements of their music. And from there, it just took off, And the thing that really got me into it is that noise music just breaks all the rules. All the rules. Even if you have just like the most metal band on the face of the planet. I don't know what that band is for you. I'll take like old Slayer. If you take that band and you put them next to Miley Cyrus, there are similarities. There really are. There are similarities of structure. There are similarities of listenability and tonality and what makes those two music. Now, whether Miley Cyrus's music can be debated. Anyway, that's not the point. There's similarities between those two, and in my mind, noise music is attempting to do one of two things: either wipe the slate completely clean and start as something incredibly different, or look at that slate that's been scribbled all over and say, okay, we don't want to do anything that's on that board. This is what we need to do. That's what noise music has been for me, and I first of all, that kind of aesthetic I'm really drawn to, the breaking of all the rules. Fuck all the rules. That really excites me, and as far as the music of it goes, noise music is definitely a taste. It's something that you have to develop a taste in. It's not something. I didn't just jump headfirst into it and it was like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. I slowly garnered my love of noise music, and it's just now what it is for me is a kind of something that I can sink into. When I just have that blast of unadulterated static that's just being manipulated and toyed with and twisted in all these different ways, that noise that's just being molded and shaped constantly. It allows my brain, and the Needle Drop talked about this. It allows my brain to just go wherever I want it to go. And for me, I can listen to a noise song 5 times in a row and get something completely different out of it every time. I'll notice something that I didn't notice before. The music will take me to a place that I haven't been before. There's no limits on what I can get out of it. And that's a really important thing for me musically. I really enjoy that. So yeah, that's all I can really say. Yeah, I would, and again, I'm not trying to tell anybody that they're wrong in hating noise music. I totally understand why people wouldn't like it, and I'm on board with that. 6-7 years ago, I would have hated it too. But I just wanted to share that with you guys and maybe give you a sense of where noise musicians are coming from, and where noise music fans are coming from, and why we think that way and why we feel that way about this music. And maybe you guys will go check it out, because like I said, it wasn't something that I jumped into. It was something that I slowly garnered. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. SirAllAboutMusic. Peace out, brother.